Hello YouTube. I haven't done a channel in a while, because you might not have noticed, but Thanksgiving happened, and I reckon that if I uploaded a video on Thanksgiving, no one would watch it, so it's been a while, and one of you unsubscribed because it's been a while. Anyway, I'd like to talk to you today about faith. In disclosure, I am an atheist, so that colors my view of it. Also, I'm really into philosophy, so that's another bias. And I like naturalism and empiricism and science. I'm pro those things. I just have unusual views on them, and that I still think philosophy is valid and science is good too. Anyway, there's basically two definitions of faith, and I would like to add in a third. The two basic ones it's kind of a pole, two extremes. On one extreme is faith in the supernatural, the sort of faith without evidence, faith that deities exist, even when your evidence isn't very good. It's stuff like, well, the universe seems really organized and really pretty. It's not really good evidence. And then the other end is faith in something that exists, and you also have lots of evidence for it. For instance, I have faith in this chair's existence because I'm sitting on it. I have faith that certain people are reliable, and I have faith in a lot of things in which I have lots of evidence for. The third kind of faith, though, that I think is very useful to keep in mind, that I think that we should make a third, we should really use this, and that is assumptions, presuppositions, I suppose you can call them, things you're going to assume for now. And if we're going to use that definition, I think that you do need faith to do science, which freaks people out because they automatically associate faith with religion, when those are different things. Faith is in religion, but they don't equal each other. You can have faith without any supernatural funniness. And so what do I mean by that? Basically, there's philosophy and there's science. Science broke away from philosophy. Science, what it does the best. So if it's a scientific question, science deals with it the best. The problem is that it's still attached to philosophy. So what it does is, for science to do its thing, it just has to assume things in philosophy. It has to assume naturalism, it has to assume empiricism, it has to assume metaphysical realism in order to do science. And sort of the idea is that, well, this is all philosophy stuff. We can't really do philosophy stuff, so we're just going to let philosophers deal with this. We'll assume these things for now, and then we'll do our science. Which to me, they have faith in the existence of the positions of these philosophy stuff. They assume it, they presuppose it, but that doesn't negate, just because they have those presuppositions, and just because those are philosophic positions, doesn't mean they're wrong. In fact, those are they really need to have faith in these things in order to make the science work. Otherwise, they're going to have trouble. Anyway, yeah. So what I see a lot in debates is that the creationists will say things, you need science to do faith because you presuppose naturalism and empiricism, which are philosophic positions, which sort of assumes that just because it's philosophy, it's just opinion, which is BS. Philosophy is hard. You can be wrong in philosophy. Philosophy is just not like, well, I feel like this. No, it's difficult. I mean, philosophy doesn't have the tools of science, but it turns out that when you're able to analyze something so extremely with logic, that you'd be surprised how far you can go. In CMI, you can actually prove something wrong video, which is basically if something's a contradiction, it's wrong. You know it is, because contradictions can't exist in the real world. So what happens is, creationist says you need faith to have science, and you're presupposing naturalism, and then the atheist says, I don't have faith in science, I don't have faith to do science, because faith is just belief without evidence, and I don't assume those things, which I think both of them are wrong. I'm on the atheist side here, so what I would say to the creationist sayings is, I would say, yeah, science does presuppose those things. I suppose you could say we have faith in naturalism and empiricism when science is done, and well, we just have to figure out what faith means, because it could be used. People could be using different definitions. So that's what I would say. Which is why anytime you're in a debate, look out for vaguely fuzzy words. And when you're in a debate, try to get people to define those words. Which is very difficult, because I've noticed if you try to have a debate over the definition of a word, people just get frustrated. And then they don't like the idea of just saying, okay, well, just for this argument, let's agree on this is what the word means, at least when I use it in this context or whatever. Just no, yes. That is sort of my idea. And I don't... My last point is that I worry that atheists like to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They notice that William Lane Craig and other creationists use philosophy a lot, so they somehow hate on philosophy, thinking that philosophy is just old superstition like religion, even though it's very clear these people don't know what philosophy even is. So yes, I'm on the atheist side who wants to keep philosophy going, and that's my video.